Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. So it is hopefully time to go and calm down the people of Rokushiki who are running haywire. Howling! A girl ran up the stairs towards the Rokushiki shrine. Many others followed her lead. Their physical powers were augmented. With each jump they took, they leaped over several steps. They weren't thinking, they were just moving according to this unknown need that boiled in their veins. The power of God they had craved for so long now surged through their bodies. Now they could fight. Fight. Fight as much as they want. Again, a voice ordered them in their mind. Kill the god. The one waiting at the shrine, the one that betrayed you all. Good, good, good. They surely would be a worthy opponent. That should surely be a worthy opponent. Something along those lines. They looked up to see how far they had to go before they reached the shrine. Then a dot. What was that flying towards them? Impact on the draw. Before they knew what would happen, the girl was knocked out. Before she knew what had happened, the girl was knocked out. Yuki Konno was standing on top of the roof, bracing herself against the wind. She had a clear view of all the stairs surrounding the temple from where she stood. I see the plan now. Masaki had given her the orders, but she wasn't sure if she could live up to his expectations. But the moment she saw those girls running up the stairs, she knew what she had to do. Does this involve volleyball? Yuki was standing on the roof of one of the shrine's warehouses. By her feet there are piles of rocks, each inscribed with Mayori's runes with her new invention, Stop Them Crayons version 1. Alright, so they're not volleyballs, but they're rocks, which I guess is close enough. Her eyes dilated as she counted her enemies, and they glowed like red like the patterns on their skin. Thou shalt not use your eyes, thou shalt use your hands. Not use your hands, she repeated the mantra she read in the book during the journey to Tagami. She picked up the rock, placed it on her left palm. She took a deep breath. She could do this. Thou shalt use your soul, your body only follows, it knows. Light shot through her body. They enhanced her physical power in unbelievable measure. Here it goes! She tossed the rock in the air. Take that! She spiked it with her right arm, sending it shooting down with the speed of a bullet. Ow! The kickback was painful. She staggered back a few steps. The rock propelled forwards, gaining speed as it shot towards the howling creatures. It hit one in the jaw, but the impact did not lessen as it ricocheted off, hitting another in the chest and so forth. It took down a string of people following. Next! She picked up another stone. Her enemies were empowered too. They recovered in no time, ready to strike back. Tough! She stood in the safe area, far away from her enemies, but it had its weaknesses. Her direct attacks could be dodged if they were aware, and some were even able to knock the rocks away before they hit them. Dang it! But their job wasn't to finish them off. Her job was to prevent them from coming as near as much as possible. It was what Masaki had trusted her to do, and she wasn't about to disappoint him. I'm going to give it my best. It was easy to stay strong as long as she remembered Masaki's trust in her. She didn't have to think. She just had to keep spiking rocks down at anybody that tried to get near. Her job was to keep calm and aim and shoot, just like a sniper would. Yuki picked up several stones and continued delivering them with great accuracy. I find that somewhat unrealistic, but sure. The sound of footsteps on the stone reverberated up the stairs. The horde was making its way up to the shrine. They stopped when they noticed the figure waiting for them. Standing with the dim evening light on their back, the figure spoke. User of the first stance, first house, Naomi Ichimonji. Patterns on her skin glowed blue. Give me your name as if you are still human. The creatures held their breath. This would be no regular victim. Show me your fangs if you aren't. Ah! One shot towards her, aggravated by her words. Idiot. Naomi stamped down her foot. It sounded like several branches breaking. Then, a blood-curdling scream. Naomi had stepped right through the girl's foot, crushing it completely. Ow! First stance, Nui Kuji. Originally, it was a movement to still the opponent's legs by stunning their nerves, but with her powers now, it was a killer move. Ha! Naomi threw out a punch, hitting the girl on the head. Her screaming stopped and she folded to the ground. Next! A tiny shadow flew through the crowd of wild creatures. Yeah! Naomi double N jabbed her elbows violently against a girl's rib. She didn't look back, nor care what or who she was dealing with. Her focus was already on the others that followed. She jumped again, kicking the nearest creature before her, using her as part of her attack on the others behind. She looked as if she moved effortlessly, instinctively, but she but the truth was that Nono was completely aware of every single movement that was surrounding her. She simply positioned herself in the most convenient places for herself. Double word there. She simply positioned herself in the most convenient places for herself, and that double herself is really bothering me, and took the most efficient methods to clean up the ones before her. She was a genius when it came to fighting, after all. The stairway she defended was a route that gathered with the most of the howling animals, but she managed just fine. The mindless girls looked at her with fear in their eyes. It was the most basic primal instincts telling them that she was dangerous. It's such hard work being a prodigy, Nono sighed and twisted her mouth up in a cruel smile. The girl flung herself forward, swinging fearlessly. Gah! She was a machine, simply made to keep fighting. Nothing else mattered. Only the very faintest awareness left in her told her something was terribly wrong. Because no matter how hard she hit, the person before her stood strong, and it was her own fist that got damaged. Sleep. Ruki dealt an accurate blow to the back of the girl's neck. Ow. She collapsed with her fist still outstretched before her. Ah. Her face held an expression of shock the moment she registered where Ruki was. What she had thought was her prey was an illusion. She realized she had been punching a tree the entire time before she blacked out. Ruki was surrounded with girls, each punching a tree fervently, and a peculiar and comical sight. 6th stance, Kagami. It played with the senses, creating illusions. Each and every one of them were under her spell. It took decades of training for her to hone her art. Those who thought martial arts were purely physical would never understand how it worked. She walked from one to another, knocking them unconscious. She was accurate and thorough. The sound of more howling from below. When will this end? Wiping her wet brow with a palm, she noticed the pain in her ribs gradually worsening. The 4th stance, used by the Shiro family, was based on brute force. Ah! My Shiro threw out a punch. The girl flew across the stairs and hit a tree, breaking it in two. Very funny. Mai didn't have any particular moves, nor did she have any training. But still, none of them were strong enough to take her fists and keep standing. Damn, that's my student. She recognized the kid she had just beaten down. She was in her class a year before. She felt a numb sensation on her fist. She could never get used to the mixed feeling she got, of disgust and pure joy from a victory. Damn the gods, she cursed. But the creatures were relentless. They kept coming. Her glasses were knocked off her face and stepped on. The frames were bent askew, but the lenses did not. That is not realistic. Of all things in the story, that is not realistic. I speak as somebody who has had broken glasses before. Hey, I like this pair. Minakashita grumbled lazily as she picked it up and put it on again. After that, she calmly knocked a fist away and kneed her opponent in the gut. The girl threw up, her spit and stomach acid splattering. Thanks for the descriptions. Minaka kicked her away and watched her tumble down the stairs. Many others followed, trampling their fallen friend. Damn it, I should have kept training even after I left this island. She laughed as she straightened herself and dusted her clothes. She wondered how long she would last. Were Masaki and the others alright? Shaking her fears away, she stretched out her arms, ready for the next fight. Festive, fooled. How long have I been recording? A little more than 10 minutes. Personally, I thought that was a little dumber than most of the chapters in this story. I'll get to that at the end of August. My name is Dragonite, and I will see you all later.